Hey everyone, welcome to my studio. Right now in my studio, I am working on a mosaic of this design of Moses and the Nile River. It's a commission for a church, and it is the second of 3 mosaics that will be going around the sides of a fountain in a courtyard at a church. Let me show you where I'm at. Here's where I'm at. I finished all of the figures in the basket. I finished the water lilies and the iris, the foliage on the iris, and now I'm working on the cattail foliage. And you can see that I've got some other glass out here, and that's because I'm looking ahead to what is next. I'm looking at the sky to see if I have enough glass for that. I'm looking at the pavement here to see if I have enough glass for that, and just planning a little bit ahead because pretty soon I will be finishing this up and I'll need to move on to the next thing. I've laid out my blues, and I'm got a request for some more blue glass, and I'm looking at getting some more of these colors for the pavement and for the background buildings. But in the meantime, I got plenty of work to do over here on these greens, so I'm gonna get after this part right here. I have worked through this area of foliage with 2 different greens, one that's bright green and one is this green, which has a lot of streakiness and different shades within the glass. But I went for the light parts of this glass, and now I'm going to use the same glass, only now I'm going to be using the dark pieces to sort of fill in behind there. Yeah, so I'll go through with a layer of that, and then I'll evaluate and see where I'm at with the colors. Laying in some of these leaves and these cattails. It's still not glued down yet, but I wanted to point out that the light is coming from this direction. So I have put a highlight on this side of each of the cattails. And as you can see, most of the cattails are leaning this way. They're sort of leaning towards the action in the mosaic to lead your eye that direction. I do have one that's leaning this way. And the reason I'm pointing it out is because I don't have the highlight on this side, because that would be the underside and the light is not going to hit the underside. So I put just a little bit of highlight on the top portion. The rest is the same color as the rest of the cattail, and that's the only one like that. The rest are all going this way, and they will all have the highlight on one side, like these 3. And now I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down with my thin set, because it's getting to be a little bit too many pieces and too many loose things moving around. I need to get them down so that I can move on. All right, I need to stop for just a minute and evaluate. First of all, I put these leaves in. They were part of the design. And I don't know what they are. There's some kind of weed. They're clearly not the same as what I have here. But I thought it looked more natural to just have something a little bit different. And I put these in first, and then I put these in. And this just looks so much better, having one shade darker on some of the leaves and then a little bit lighter here. So I am going to remove this leaf that's behind all the other things, and I'm going to make it this darker color because I think that really helps give it a little bit of depth. And then I will go back to filling in the green. That's it. It's never easy to remove something like this. The main thing is that these pieces around it are stuck down with thin set, and I want to make sure that I can remove these without damaging these other ones, without chipping them or whatever. So I'm just going to very slowly pry them up. There we go. Nice. As long as I have easy access and the pieces are not landlocked or surrounded by other pieces, much easier to get up. These are the trickiest ones because they're in the middle of all this business. And so I'm going to try to pry this way so that if anything gets chipped, it's between these two pieces, and we'll see. And I have this towel here just to buffer my glass on this side at least. Oh, that came up. Not as hard as I thought it would be. And then from this side. Yay! Everything else is secure. Finished all of the reeds and rushes right here, and now I'm moving on to these two that are right here, which I have already cut the actual cattails and a few of the pieces of foliage, and I'm going to get after putting this little sparse area in, and then I'll be done with all that. So much better with the ground in. Now these leaves are not just floating. The cattails are not just floating. They are grounded, literally grounded with the ground there. And now, speaking of the ground, I have some plans here to work on this pavement with this color. And this background grass, I want to be a little more muted than the leaves here. And I think that this purpley green mix will be really nice. There's a little bit of shade from the tree, so I'll pop the purples in there, but I'll also have the greens. So that'll be nice. But first things first, I'm gonna get after this pavement. Here we go. I'm using for this pavement, or I'm not even sure what it is, limestone or whatever it is, has two distinct sides, and it may be hard to tell in this video, but one side is super shiny and one side is a little bit more textured. And to me, this textured side reads better as whatever this material is on the ground. So usually when there's two different things, sometimes I'll mix them or whatever, but this time I'm gonna use just the textured side. It's got a little bit more color variation. This side is more solid. This side's a little bit more mottled, just barely, but I'm gonna go with this side. That's it. Halfway point on this landing, and I have spaced some pieces down here just to see how many more rows I need and to make sure that they fit, and they do beautifully. So I don't have to have like a half row or anything crazy like that. It's all going to work out. Let me finish it up. Quite finished that landing, but I got an excellent start on it and really knocked out quite a bit of it, as well as all of the foliage. I can't wait to finish up the landing and the little wall and then that landscape there. And then I'll probably tackle the water before I move on to the background across the river. That's it. One last look at it now that I've propped it up. It's so nice because I can go across the room and look at it from a distance and make sure that everything is reading really well. That's putting it together. Thanks for watching. See you next time.